Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be going over my XP lane tier list of 2025 or January edition. Basically what I want to do with this series is I want to update this every month, or at least every couple months, because obviously meta changes a lot with many heroes, especially XP. So yeah, I want to see where these heroes are in like a couple months. I'll definitely update this list quite often. I'm uploading this towards the end of January, so obviously there can be a meta change and switch eventually. So, but for now, this is what we have. I already did the tier list. I just didn't record myself doing it, so I'm gonna be going over, the reasons why I have the heroes where they are. I'm going to be giving you my S tier, obviously the A, B, C, D. We're going to be starting at the bottom because nobody really cares about these heroes because they're just dog shit. So yeah, let's get off with D tier. We have Alice, Yin, Basha, and Ballman. These heroes provide nothing. It should be self-explanatory. If you play these heroes XP, you most likely lost your team the game because these heroes just either are not good at all in either team fighting or they just take way too long to get good, especially Basha and Alice. I mean, Alice, I don't even need to explain why he's dog shit. This hero takes pretty much a whole millennium to start doing damage in team fights, and even when you start doing damage, you just get deleted instantly. So yeah, definitely terrible heroes. C tier. Now the reason why a lot of these heroes are actually not terrible, like for example, Bane and Barats are not dog shit in XP. Same thing with Alucard. But these heroes are more rank. I think these heroes are more classic in rank. Obviously, you can pull them off in rank if you're really, really good at them. But if you play against enemies that have a working, functioning brain, these heroes will just not work. Now, Alucard is one of my main, I definitely consider him one of my best heroes. I play Alucard XP, and I can tell you from experience, it's not the best pick, but if you do know how to use the hero well, it can work. It does work, Aldos is here. Aldos is terrible, but, eventually, at a certain point in the game, he does start doing something, even if it takes forever. But, the reason why Aldos is above Alice, by the way, for maybe some of you wondering, is because Aldos, his ult is just better than anything Alice has in his arsenal, because Aldos ult gives you vision and you can assassinate. So it's a pretty useful ult if you ask me. So yeah, Alice, Masha, Julian, these heroes should just not be picked. They're pretty bad, and Sylvana is dog shit. So yeah, those are the heroes in C tier. Next up, we have B tier heroes. Now, these are the heroes that are situational but are good. So I would pick these heroes if I'm trying to snowball. For example, that's why Dairoth's here, because Dairoth obviously has one of the best early games out of any hero. His early game is insane, but obviously late game he falls off very, very hard. So I don't really consider him to be that strong, but he's good. Same thing with Thamus. He's pretty good early. And then Argus. I think Argus is actually a very, very good XP laner. His ult is one of the best ults in the entire game. I mean, you're literally immortal for multiple seconds. So that is somewhat of value. And if you get to late game, he can pretty much 1v1 against any hero. So he is a good hero. But he's more of a rank hero. That's why these heroes are if this was just a rank tier list, they would be higher, but it's not. It's everything considered. So yeah, Fredrin could be used XP. It's actually not that bad. Esmeralda, B tier. I actually don't know why I put Esmeralda in B tier. I think Esmeralda is pretty dog shit. So just imagine her going down to C tier. And then Chao, I don't like Chao in XP. I think Chao XP is pretty bad. I think Chao should be picked in Roam, because in XP you need a XP that can pretty much have insane amount of AoE, and can really take over fights, can really set for your team. And I think Chao just suits the Roam role more than XP. But if you do pick him XP, I don't think it's a terrible decision. I personally just don't think it's the correct one. So, yeah. And then Terizla, I mean, Terizla just fell off. If this was like 2024, if this was like 6 months ago, Terizla would be top of S tier, best XP in the game. But, you know, Terizla fell off, bro. I love Terizla too, which is even sadder because I do play this hero to this day, even in 2025. You know, a lot of people may be laughing at that, you know, oh, Terizla in the big 2025. But, I mean, the hero is good. Like, he does provide some sort of use. His ult is good. It's actually really good if you know how to use it. So, yeah. But next up, we have A-tier heroes. Now, these are the heroes that can be picked in either rank or in professional play. So, yeah. Arlott Badon. Badon was actually picked a lot in Snapdragon, which I was surprised by because I think Badon, like I thought Badon a couple weeks ago was dog shit, but he's picked a lot. I think Badon is a pretty good hero. He's meta. He has insane like AoE. He has crazy CC. And he can 1v1 against most XPs. Same thing with Sun. Now, I personally think Sun should be picked in the jungle or gold lane. I actually think gold lane Sun is better because Sun can literally one-shot, or not one-shot, but he can all-in and delete most marksmen. So I do think Sun is a very, very good hero. He can split push. He can assassinate. He just provides a lot of pressure in the games. I do like think Sun is a good hero. I want to believe that. And he's picked a lot, so I can't really deny that. Freya, man, I don't know about Freya. Freya is very, very interesting because the thing about Freya is that there's no in between with Freya. You either have a good Freya or the Freya is completely dog shit. There's really no in between. This hero is very, very volatile. If you get ahead with Freya, you can most likely 1v5, but if you're behind on Freya, you're pretty much useless. This hero is very easy to kill, and she's very easy to gank too. So, yeah, but in terms of, like, chasing, she can actually chase you. Like, she has a very, very good, like, lock-on, like, kind of mechanism. Like, her ult is very, very good. So, yeah, I think Freya is good into, like, heroes that have, like, a lot of sustain. Like, Freya would be good against, like, Dairoth, you know, like, Mardis, Paquito, but, like, heroes that can, like, outspace her like crazy just doesn't work. So, yeah. And then Xborg, Lapu, Joy, Belric. I think these are really, really solid heroes if you know how to use them right. And now we have the S tier. The S tier is the best of the best, the meta heroes that you should be picking in the XP lane. These are the heroes that, if are used right, you can most likely win games with these heroes. A lot of these heroes can actually be picked in other roles too, which is, you know, Edith, Gatot, Glue, Hilda, Hylos, and Khalid. I mean, literally 90% of the heroes in S tier can be picked in other roles too, or in Rome. So, yeah, we have Edith, Gatot, Glue, Hilda, Hylos, Phoveus, Khalid, and Yuzon. Yuzon is my main, so I have a bit of a bias. But I do believe that Yuzon is one of the best XPs because his kit is so very useful. His ult is crazy good for team fighting. And in terms of 1v1ing, there's very few XP laners that can hold a candle to Yuzon, especially my Yuzon. He's very, very good. Now, in terms of professional play, he's not picked that much, which is an argument maybe you could use against him to not put him in S tier. But at minimum, he has to be A tier. Yuzon is definitely not B tier with the dog shit heroes down there. So, yeah. Khalid, Phoveus, and Hylos, I think these are the best XPs in the game. Hylos, a lot of people consider him the best XP in the game because of his lane cutting, his zoning, and his ult. I mean, his ult is crazy useful, man. Like, you really cannot escape from Hylos. And just, like, he's a utility XP. Like, he is so damn good. He is so good, and he's so easy. Like, Hylos and Khalid and Phoveus don't take much skills, guys. Like, a lot of these XP as a role isn't very complex. It's all about rotations. It's all about lane cutting. It's all about understanding where the enemy is going to be. And it's all about flanking at the end of the day. If you know how to flank on, like, Khalid or Yuzon or Gatot, if you know exactly where the enemy is going to step up, you're you're just really good. You understand how that role should be played. If you're an XP laner who just, just fights randomly and stays in their lane the whole game, you're not really very educated on the role, and you're most likely a low rank. Now, I don't know why I went completely off topic, but I just needed to say that because I do think it is. Oh my God, I'm stuttering so much. It is important that you understand what your job is when you play these type of heroes, especially the S tier heroes, where like it's very hard to be bad on heroes that are naturally good. Like these heroes do not take much skill. So yeah. And then Hilda obviously just has insane zoning. Hilda, I wouldn't really say is like a team fighting hero. I think she's just mainly for pickoffs and zoning. But like if you know how to play Hilda, all you have to do is invade the enemy because she's naturally tanky. She's, if the enemy chases a Hilda, they're wasting their time. Even if she goes like 0-5, she's still gonna be useful. So that is the XP lane tier list. Again, I'm basing this off of rank, professional play, and my experience. So yeah, if this was like my personal enjoyment tier list, Argus, Alucard, Daroth, Terizla, Fredrin would all be S tier, but obviously that's not really how it works. And yeah, if you guys are want to learn XP, I would definitely recommend like the heroes in either S or B tier. Because those are mainly like the solo heroes that can really 1v5. If you guys are like a solo player, I think Daroth, Freya are good for you if you're trying to rank up to like Mythic. If you're a high rank and you're like if you're like learning XP because you want to get like higher stars, I would definitely suggest like Phoveus and Hylos. So yeah, that is the tier list. Let me know if you guys disagree or agree with my picks, and feel free to obviously disagree because we all have our different opinions. Everybody sees things differently. That's the beauty of having opinions. But I honestly, looking at this tier list, I do not think you can disagree with the S tier. Everything else, yes, I can see why somebody would disagree with. But like for the S tier, I don't think you can make an argument, maybe besides YZ, that they shouldn't be where they are. Like you cannot tell me that Phoveus is not like S tier. You know what I mean? So yeah. Also, I just noticed that Lucas is not actually in the tier list. I don't know why Lucas is not here, but Lucas would go in the S tier. I do think Lucas is one of the best XPs in the game, especially since his release. He's been picked literally almost every single game. And I do think he has insane zone-in control, and he's very, very good at team fighting, and he's very, very good at 1v1s. So I do think he would fit into the S tier. I don't think he would be top of S tier, but I do think he would be at the bottom with like YZ and Khalid. So yeah, just to clarify that, because, maybe a Lucas player, a Lucas main was like, where's my Lucas? So yeah, I apologize for that. I don't know why he's not in the tier list, but yep. Anyways, that is the XP lane tier list, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, I'm going to be doing this with every single role. So there's definitely going to be more content. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I might start streaming, by the ways, guys. So go check out my Twitch. I'll be live there sometimes. I'm not going to be too live, but, whenever I feel like it, I will go live and stream some Mobile Legends. So yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.